guys, welcome back to my page. I am the Reflective Perspective Oracle. My name is Charlene. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading, general messages and advice from Spirit, kind of like a what you need to know. So we have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1, this piece of Chrysoprase. Pile 2, this piece of Botswanian Agate. And pile 3, we have this piece of Unakite. Okay? So intuitively choose your pile, whichever you're drawn to. Timestamps are in the description box. Let's get started with pile number 1. All right, so if you chose pile number 1, this piece of Chrysoprase, let's see what Spirit wants you to know. You may be in a headspace right now where you're feeling what in the actual, okay? This is confusing. It's frustrating. There's lots of emotions surrounding this. I think that you are in this headspace because as of late you may have noticed that you've been giving your energy away to people, places, or situations apply to your story that aren't reciprocal, okay? You're putting your energy into things that do not give you back an equal amount of give and take. If we think of our energy, if we think of pi as our energy, if we think of a pie chart, okay, and we divvy up the pieces of the pie throughout the day, where are we putting it, and is it giving back to us what we are giving to it, right? And is it of the highest quality at the same time, okay? So with this realization, you maybe have noticed that this isn't something that you maybe have noticed before. Like, wait a minute, why all of a sudden am I noticing that I am giving my attention and energy away to these things? I've never really noticed it before. I just kind of went through life and it was just happening, you know? I think that that's causing you to take a look at the fact that maybe you feel a little bit vulnerable all of a sudden, right? And that's okay. That's a good thing, right? This is breaking patterns, right? This is becoming the observer, okay? Now, we've got what a difference a day makes here. And this is a great card. It talks about, giving something some time, sleeping on it, letting time pass, knowing that your prayers are being heard and miracles can occur. So I think that this is something that you've actually been asking for, to start to have more reciprocity in your life, more reciprocal exchanges of energy with people, places, and situations. And so now all of a sudden it's come and you are in this space of what's going on. Maybe you feel like your world is crumbling, but that's always a good thing in the sense that, when something crumbles, it can be rebuilt, right? And I think that this is, again, as I said, it's leaving you in a vulnerable spot. It's kind of asking you to assess and to balance your emotions here, to balance where you put your energy, to, reassess who you're giving your energy to. Is it being reciprocated? Is it of the highest quality? And if it isn't, maybe to start to retract that energy. I pulled a Work Your Light Oracle card by Campbell just to add to this, and you got Break the Chain, okay? So here's the thing. As I spoke of, this card talks about ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. So there are many people who have come before you, and this could have been a deep-seated pattern within your ancestral lineage of, and not just your ancestral lineage, but in society in general, of wanting to people please, to keep everything copacetic, kosher, keep everything calm, not to tip the boat, not to cause any sort of confrontation, just always being polite and kind, and not really speaking your truth, and not, allowing others to just take from you without really analyzing whether or not they deserve it. And I think that this is why you're in this what in the actual, because you're noticing this now, and that's a good place to be, right? You're noticing that this is a pattern and that you're going to break it, and that's what's happening here. So Spirit's just asking you to, listen, this is something you've prayed for. This is something you've been thinking about, you've asked about this, and you are, in fact, by looking at it and assessing the situation and balancing out your emotions and your energy, where you're putting it to, going through all these emotions, right? Because remember, emotions are just energy in motion. You are moving the energy, you're shifting the energy, you're changing it, you're healing ancestral patterns, societal programming, rewriting the future. This is a really beautiful thing, okay? So this is going to level you up. This is going to allow you to really focus on where you're putting your time and energy. Is it being reciprocated? And you'll be able to make the changes. And this breaks the chain, right? This breaks the old patterning of society, of familial cycles. And I think that you should be very proud of yourself, pile 1. Moving on to pile number 2, if you chose this Botswanian agate. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know. As of late, I feel as though you are in a bit of physical and emotional or mental pain, apply to your life. And you may have come to this place. I feel like it's more emotional or mental because there's a little bit of deception here happening, okay? I think that you have been stifling yourself in the way of you've been wanting to tell people around you how you feel, but it's a difficult energy for you to fully step into, as if to say, you're saying you're speaking your truth, but you're kind of like asking for a friend, you're not able to fully step into your true authenticity of what it is that you're feeling, and you're kind of tiptoeing around it, as if to say you're worried about what others will think or say about your feelings or your thoughts. But Spirit wants you to know here that everything that you feel and think is completely valid. There are no stupid questions. There are no, invalid feelings, right? You are allowed to feel how you feel. And I think that this has been a pattern for you. And so much so that you have come to the realization that this is something that you do. But it's not long-lived, okay? This is, like gas, this too shall pass, that kind of thing. You're being asked to remedy that by taking, nurturing self-care, right? Looking for some sort of solution to remedy that. And, while you've come to this realization, right? But here's the thing. I think some of the pain is also coming from really harshly judging yourself on the fact that you have been this person, somebody who isn't fully able to speak their truth, and kind of just always tiptoes around what they feel and what they think. Maybe you feel as though you've abandoned yourself as of late, not truly being able to speak your emotions to those around you, especially friends. And so you've been judging yourself on that, and you're being asked to not do that because that's too harsh, right? It's too much. There's no judgment required on this, okay? You're a human being. You've just noticed that there's a bit of a pattern, and that it's been hurting you. It's been hurting those around you by not fully being who you truly are. And then you're judging yourself on top of that, which hurts even more, right? And it's not necessary, okay? So I pulled some extra cards from the Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. And you, pile 2. So we've got Get Grounded. It says empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. Now, I feel like this energy that you're in here, it's easy to, get all in your head and to just start replaying, overanalyzing, that kind of energy, right? So you're being asked to get grounded. How you can do that through meditation, through connecting with nature. You're very highly sensitive at this time, because this has to do a lot with emotions, right? And you're being asked to get out of your head and more into your heart, the heart center. Get out into nature if you can, ground, right? And then you also have the card Play, all right? So it says have fun, celebrate, and don't be so serious. So this is talking about how we've got to get out of our head, into our heart, and start to really recognize that, look, I'm a human, and I have emotions, and we all make mistakes, and I need not take myself so seriously. If we think about it, we're just on a rock hurling through space. We're doing the best we can. You're being asked to play and to have a little bit more fun and to celebrate all the wins that you have accomplished, and to even look at this as a win. The fact that you've recognized it, the fact that you've become part of the observer position here, and you've seen this, and so now you're going to take the steps in order to remedy that. And you're going to start by not judging yourself, and know that, you know, with time this too shall pass, as cliche as it sounds, right? But Spirit's just advising you to please nurture yourself at this time. Please do not judge yourself for not fully being able to speak your truth. Get grounded, and try not to take yourself so seriously. Have a little bit more fun, pile 2, okay? Because you deserve it, all right? So I hope that resonated for you. And finally, if you chose pile number 3, this piece of Unakite, let's see what Spirit wants you to know. I feel as though there's a bit of a pattern here that's being recognized. It's quite interesting because I feel like all 3 piles today have been about patterns and breaking cycles here. So, pile 3, I feel like you have maybe possibly come to the realization that you are someone who has given their power away, and you've quite possibly done it from a place of fear. So constantly giving others your playbook, okay? So say, for example, you're in a relationship and someone isn't treating you how you want them to treat you, so you constantly have to tell them how to treat you, and therefore, if you can see, you know, that you have been basically dating yourself, because you're not allowing them to truly show you who they are. You just keep telling them how to treat you, and then they use that to get to a place with you that, you know, makes you happy, and then you move forward from there. But the thing is that we want people to be authentic with us and show us who they truly are. And I think that this is something that you may have been doing for quite a while, because, or, you know, with each person or situation or job that you encounter this pattern with, you know, each one is better than the last, but you kind of just stay in that place because it's more comfortable. It's something that's very familiar to you. It is better than the last version of however this is manifested for you, but it's comfortable to you because it's something you know. So as if to say, you've gotten comfortable with the familiarity of it, but, you know, it's almost as if you're settling each time, like, no, this is good enough. It's better than it was the last time, so I'll just stay here. But the uncomfortability of the moment is more comfortable than moving on from this, because the fear of the unknown is greater than the uncomfortability of the present moment, right? Of where you're settling. With these people, places, and situations where you're constantly having to, you know, overshare or overextend yourself, if that makes sense. But the point is that Spirit's coming through to say here, like, look, you need to start having more unconditional love for yourself and for the situations you've been in. And now with this realization, looking back, knowing that everything was happening for you, not to you. And it was all to level you up, right? To get you to a place of where you are now, right? To build you into who you are now. So if we can look at all our past experiences and all our behavioral patterns from the past through a lens of unconditional love, and knowing that you had to do that, you know, X, Y, and Z amount of times before you got the lesson, but knowing that it was given to you to be able to come to this realization, you know, then you can start to look at it from a place of, all right, I get it. You know, I see why it had to happen. Now, Spirit's also coming through to say, like, can we take the facts, not necessarily the storyline of what's happened, but the knowledge of what has happened, the knowledge and the wisdom that has come from what has happened and your old actions and patterns, and stitch that together and move forward with this kind of, you know, new knowledge, this new wisdom, this new understanding of what it takes in order to build a life that you're wanting to, like, that you, it's like stitching together the knowledge instead of stitching together the storyline, because the storyline needs to be left behind, whereas the knowledge and the wisdom needs to be taken and stitched into the new storyline of who you are and what it is that you're looking for the rest of your life, right? I pulled some Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell, and you got, you're already doing it, okay? Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. So this is talking about the fact that you have come to this realization that this is something that you do. So just recognize it for what it is, have unconditional love for it, know that it had to happen in order for you to get to the place that you are now. And, you know, then you've got trust the niggle, okay? Which it talks about, what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? What is that underlying intuitive feeling that's in your gut that's saying, hey, listen, this isn't right anymore, okay? I know better. I know that this doesn't feel good to me anymore. And I want to stitch together a new story. I want to stitch together a new way of being. I want to leave behind these patterns of settling, of giving away my power, of always, you know, staying in situations that don't serve me, right? So just truly, truly, truly look at this whole situation through a lens of unconditional love. Understand it all had to happen in order to show you what you wanted instead of what you don't, to build you into this person you are now, to help you build this metaphorical quilt of knowledge and wisdom instead of storylines. So you are already doing it. Congratulations, Pile 3. Trust your intuition. Trust the knowing. Trust what it's trying to tell you. Yeah. So I hope that resonated for you, Pile number 3. Thank you guys so much for coming back to my page. If you're interested in our deck, please feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help you with that. Also, if you're interested in a private reading, I'm available for that as well. Thank you guys so much for coming back. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.